And now you're hearing from us twice a day. He doesn't think that's funny. We were having some issues with a previous device. We're using a new device, so now we get our thoughts better laid out because this is really, really important. When Simon and I first discovered the smart city structure, what was the first thing
Yeah, tell me.
he said? That sounds like Lackland. For those of you who don't know, Simon and I met on Lackland Air Force Base. So Air Forces were essentially a prototype of smart cities, right? Everything was on the base, the commissary. We used to have something called the Classics, which would be a convenience store. We lived in the dormitories. The hospital was there. There was nothing that wasn't available to us on our base, which was a smart city. Now, granted, it's much bigger than 15 minutes, Lackland, but other bases are smaller.
Well, actually, it wasn't really big.
You don't think so?
Not at all.
There you go. Right? So for your military veterans, they're used to that. College kids used to that. Campus, right? Typically, is on campus, and how many colleges are in town economically dependent
on
the college?
We call them college towns.
They're smart cities.
You talk about Austin. We go on and on and on. What are you talking about one the other?
Was it Miami U?
Miami U, but that's not a Swiss. Miami's a bigger name. Florida and so forth.
Just read that. So, I wanted to get into the predictive programming. They use these psychological order to go along to get along, right? As smart cities start to kind of roll out, there's pushback. You think that they will, they won't. They have been pushing us along, conditioning us along time. When we talk about school to prison pipelines, your average student is not going, right? For those of you guys who like Florida, the school setup is the same developer as, and it wasn't for the state prison. Those children being conditioned setup, right? Doing old. You're not allowed to go in this area. This area is don't run down the hall. Don't do this. Don't do that. That control is set up for a day such as this one. In 1962, so I'm not showing my age, right? Because I'm an 80s baby. But in 1960, a great Saturday morning came out that everyone loved. I don't know if you are familiar with this cartoon, but those who are within our age range absolutely show you when they introduce the children. So here we go. So there you have the planet. It's showing you that oneness. And there goes your smart cities, y'all. Right? Real quick, many of you have seen these episodes, so it's not anything that you need to, I don't need to show the whole intro to the episode. But in 1962, that was the first smart city, right? The Jetsons. And when they showed you those towers there, made it a point that when you into that very first credit, the Earth, that's the one World Economic Forum, that one government, way back in 1960 when debuted. For my culture fans, you guys may remember Judge Dredd, starring Sylvester, Judge Dredd, Sylvester Stallone. You said that Wesley Snipes was in it, right? That's when he had that weird blonde haircut. I think so too. That could have been mad, sure. But Judge Dredd, I'm just going to show you just the opening credit, right? I just want y'all to see this one thing. It is, oh, apparently it's not sharing this. I thought it was showing, but it's not. If you Google Judge Dredd 1995, credit says Mega City 1. Each smart towers had a name, Mega City 1, so on and so forth. Hey, blockchain monkeys. Yup, I know you watched Judge Dredd. And you got to see in that dystopian future, it was 2199. How
Yes.
far away were we from 20? So they were off by a little bit, but not much. When you watch that movie, you could just, Mega City 1 was probably a mega built. And the movie, you see how it crumbled. You see the punitive measures. The police were the judge, the jury, and the executioner. How far away is that from your, are you showing my age? I'm showing my own age. Dread from 1995 when they redid it in 4. But I don't remember. It was called Carol. I was, but how long was it in the 1? Anyway, always telling you up front what they're going to do. Sit or entertained by this predictive programming. I'm sure the Simpsons don't have that episode for you guys. It was really, really important that I got a few more of these points out because we were having trouble. Last about smart city, supermax, Saudi Arabia. Just wanted to make the point again. I think I made it before, but everything is a 5-minute convenient walk from your residence. You don't have a car. If you look at the expansion plan of it, and I hate that this is not sharing the screen, you look in plan of it, where's the airport to, right? If you visit a family member, if someone died on a different part of the world, how are you going to get there? Their whole thing is control. Supermax 1 in Saudi Arabia is going to be and run by AI. For those of you who remember they were domestic in the house to clean, they ran your errands, they cooked, they babysat, they did all of these things, and they're gonna is that convenience, right? You can focus on the things that you focus on. They're gonna give you all these pretty catchphrases. You can spend more time with your family, quality time, yada yada yada. It's in-home service. Now, how have they been babysitting with in-home surveillance? It sounds absolutely ridiculous. Y'all got a Ring door, real convenient because you can see who's knocking at your door. For parents who want to have the surveillance in their house, their children protect themselves. You're not the only one who can see that surveillance. Safety is not for your convenience, it's for their data. So we're saying all these things because all of these systems are combined, and banking get involved.
So let's talk about banking. So we're gonna go back. BRICS, stand for Russia, India, China, and South Africa, and we show over this an extensive show over BRICS nations and BRICS nations who want to join. Now the nations have been meeting with who?
No.
Saudi Arabia, right?
Yes, Saudi Arabia, which is interesting. They're going to see the action.
Yeah. Well, it's plus. Something else goes behind the plus.
There you go.
Yeah, but why is that interesting? Tell them why that might be interesting.
That's really interesting because Saudi Arabia is doing the deal with Israel. Why? So we talked about how this is biblical up against Israel. Israel is doing deals with Saudi Arabia, who's doing deals with BRICS. Saudi Arabia is also economic, the world. Sounds like a to me if you ask. I don't know how many of you guys seen that. We're having connection issues. Blockchain Monkey said he's real today on BRICS and digital currencies. Let us know what time that video is coming on so we can watch it. All the deals cut. Africa is doing it. Russia to remove European and American occupation. Check out what's going on in Uganda right now, especially with pipelines and so on and so forth. There's a French country, not country, they went DEFCON 5, DEFCON 1 because the people were kicked out. Okay, minutes. We're going to check. I'll make this. You want this deal making and deal breaking at number 3. I look way expected to look. This and that intelligent and using artificial intelligence, right? And big kibosh could be years.
Will be men.
And there
talk brings one of the BRICS nations is so we could talk about China, million man, right? So
the drying biblical prophecies that after the Euphrates rose up, the angels that are encased below are going to break, and 200 million horses cross dry Euphrates for war. That's some of this and so forth. So we have 100 million man army, and I'm telling you guys, if you're Bible and you're not into God, you're not get into it, because that's what information is, and it's how someone 2,000 years ago is describing exactly what's happening today, logically, right, step after step after step, without that. The fact that 310 biblical prophecies were fulfilled, I mean, that statistic is like a trillion, zillion, million to zero. So, if you updated on the World Economic Forum, before I go, I want to talk to you about it. It is much information. We're talking research, post shows, blogs. We're going to talk about BRICS. Y'all check 40 minutes, less than 40 minutes now. That way you can know what's going on, and you can do whatever you can as far as planning, thinking, and stuff like your family before all of this gets rolled. Censorship. This information is abound. You can find it at TikTok is a platform. What used to be, so now you're journalists. That's where the media is now. They are controlling what's being said, how it's being said. You can do just of them saying over and over again with areas of control, trying to have the people. I want y'all to build back better, right? When you start left, you're going to economic. We're going to build it back better. They burnt Maui to know what they said. We're going to build it back. We're going to back better. Back better. They're going to build things back better. Phrases that they're all using at the same time for different. Repetitive program your mind. Censoring any social media commentator that's about with me. That was silly.
We'll do it in depth
on that. That you talk to creator, you don't even have to have it in the title. You just talk about it.
Yeah, so that's
all right.
That's why we want to do an in-depth show on that, because we really got to break that down. They don't want you to talk about. But what I will say is we always try to circle this back around. So what are we talking about here? So your Bitcoin, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want Bitcoin. I might have said it earlier, but we're going to say it again. You want to have it stored properly. Have your Bitcoin stored properly. We also are big into precious metals.
Yes.
Gold and silver, platinum, palladium.
Gold, silver, platinum, palladium. Because we've talked about the utility of paper silver. Yeah, it's It's
It is an exchange, and on those exchanges, run into the rehypothecation. So you have to be careful with that.
and appropriation of your assets should they so choose to the company about whatever assets are on.
Yeah, so when you want to have your physical, but you have to be able to do your physical, right? You know, you need to have some type of place. You know, people talk about burying it in the backyard, all kind of things.
In their house.
Yeah, putting
staircase,
tile floor
under the basement.
But you have to protect it. You have to protect it. It is your wealth, gold, silver, platinum. So you have to protect it at all costs, especially in these coming in days and times.
Yes. Yes.
And so
your dollars are struggling.
The dollar's breaking down. So, you know, what you don't need, I guess you're safe to say.
There's no such
Put
thing
it
as safe.
put it into
a safe haven.
Safe haven.
Yeah.
You know, safe haven. Don't leave it in the bank.
No.
Banks are crumbling. You see that. SFV, what other bank crumbled?
The Valley-based bank
Yeah,
crumbled.
that crumbled.
That private bank crumbled. We did shows on that, so you can find that. But
so banks are crumbling. I mean, I guess if you go out here to these standard banks, you know, Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, stuff
but
like
they're not. They are imploding them on purpose so that they can. What's the word when you grab them together? So they can consolidate them into a one world bank.
the one bank that crumbled, Chase, SFV.
No,
Wealth private bank. Okay, it's a private wealth bank. Chase bottom. Chase also of precious, of
gold.
silver in the world. Chase Bank, J.P. Morgan Chase, was told that they had to sell some of their silver. They had too much.
And they caught 2 RICO charges
in
the approaching of gathering all of that silver. They paid the fines. I'm sure there'll be more RICO charges to come. However, what they're doing is they are playing. Yep, the problem. That's why I changed my. And then they give us the solution. So that's what they do.
And you know, not the hard pill. We have to talk about the king of the world.
We are. Oh no, he's the king of the universe.
The universe.
Of the universe.
Wow.
So recently, your King Charles of England was coronated as king of the universe. That's hilarious, right? No, this is for real. It was a very long coronation ceremony. Had lots of satanic occultic symbolism and stuff going on in it. But you ask yourself, you're barely the king of England. Why are you being coronated king of the universe? It's important, again, biblical, right? King Charles is head of not only the World Economic Forum, which is the government, he's also the head of the One World Religion. That forum. So much information, y'all, we had to put together and stay in lane in order to create right off the rails. But King, okay, so this is why America didn't blink. Decided they were going to come up with BRIC currency to 55 to 57 US dollars. You ready? King Charles, because you got to remember, England's still our parent, right? We never left that relationship. Every sitting president goes when they get in office and gets knighted or whatever by the okay? So still doing their bidding. King Charles has an investment company. Look it up. He had for his management $60 trillion under management.
Assets.
Management. Assets, right? And when we say money, it's assets. It's the value. They have a lot of old gold. They appropriated from other countries. Remember when Great Britain colonized they owned almost the entire world. The that didn't set on under management right now. America didn't blow out the BRICS currencies. So now you have the BRICS nations here. You got the World Economic Forum here. You're gonna butt heads unless somebody capitulates. And we both know that China and Russia are not capitulators. In the middle, this is why I'm watching all of these different as they're taking place, and how to protect our assets, how to protect our well-being, how to have a we do, where can we go, so on and so forth. But it all starts first with accurate information. Maui, like I burnt Maui to the ground. Watch him in the next video. I don't have content. And he right for Maui to the ground, large capital people, like rich people, celebrities, office members, so on and so forth, heads of state, cats, they were buying large properties in Maui. Okay, that's weird. It's a nice place, maybe. Okay. Burnt Maui to the ground in order from the people. Does that? Yeah. He believes, and when he said it, I believed him, that is going to be where the U.S. government is going to set up. Because once you start these and still start to create any prisons that look right on the outside, your generation like us not going to go for it. We're happy about a lot of people grumbling and so forth. They want to be in a place where you now an island, you can't get out your people aren't going to rise against the government that absolutely pained them.
Well, and also, great point. That's a great point. So it is arbitrary. So we talk a lot leaving, right? As that clothing. Yeah. We've done shows different that will receive you well, and as United States citizens, start looking into that. I mean, you have to do some more, but maybe you're looking into. I might need to set up back here. People, shout out to my brothers and sisters. Who can lineage start looking right? Family goes back to just something like the Dominican Republic,
a place where they will be slow that out because it is already set up yet, and they'll absolutely have to build it.
Yeah, and you have access to that passport. Then you have a second passport. You have a United States passport, which is pretty valuable on the open market around, and then
right
from your home country, your homeland. So I mean, it's a lot. It's tedious. It's a little bit,
but it'll stretch your dollar a little bit further, especially if you're trying to amass more assets. If you're trying to
I'm sorry, cut your wisdom, queen, but they will who have the ability to work from home. You can be in this country.
Already subsidy, right? You have to leave work.
You just stay at your house.
I work from home.
It's safe. It's safe in your house. But yeah, you go to different countries and work. Even organizations, maybe you have a few times. So we're cool, but it's still better than nothing.
But here it is. Smart city rollouts, hard deadline, 2030. That far away, right? Feels far, it's not far. So our second episode coming up is going to be obviously, I don't know, maybe or Saturday. We'll see.
Yeah.
Right? I just got to put it together for you guys. we don't go off the rails too much. There's just so much information, so many moving. Do the information you guys need on the doing and how they're getting down. Check out the show coming up next, and start doing your research. Saudi Arabia, watch that video. Currencies.com, multiple little videos that are introducing the concept, the idea of smart cities. They use primary colors for children, like this. I mean, it's a very simplistic. It looks so innocent, and a lot of people's gonna say, actually, new is gonna be people who dire poverty are gonna love it. What their current situation was to begin with. But we have to see things for what they actually are. It's not a society where the society cares about it, right? We know that from the dawn of time. So we will keep you abreast. We're gonna go. We wanted to mention the King Charles, training assets. We wanted to mention the 1,000 other movies that you guys are gonna be like, yep, I remember this movie. I wrote the in that movie. Check out each other as well. Last thing, smart city projects, right? Where my New Yorkers at? Queens project, smart city, Frank City, mega city, right? We had all of the shopping and everything there.
Co-op
City in Brooklyn is the largest projects they have. Is one of the largest.
Is
the largest mega city. It's stopping us a long time with the smart plan. Under the now trying to have technology now that they didn't before. And we'll talk more about why they are so dominant for our next show. So stay tuned. We'll probably be for a while that we get all information out because it's just so much. Talk to you later. Y'all be safe, planning, and check out the Monkey Show.